Now, on health issues, an age-old saying has it that cancer, in every form of it, is as old as humanity. Decades of advancement in medical technology has done little to make any meaningful impression on cancer. Korede Akindele is a pediatric cancer advocate and policy driver, and he joins us now to look at the challenge of containing the ravages of cancer in Nigeria against the backdrop of the nation's primary healthcare struggles. Good to have you with us, Korede.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so how would you assess cancer prevalence in Nigeria currently?
Okay, currently the prevalence of cancer in Nigeria, it's currently on the high side. Especially the cases we are seeing, unlike adult cancers. There's been a lot of talk about adult cancers such as breast cancers, cervical cancer, colon cancers, and other type of cancers in adult like that. But unlike childhood cancer, much has not been said about childhood cancer in Nigeria. But as of today, childhood cancer is the 5th cause of death in children in Nigeria. And when you say a child dies, out of 10 child that dies, 2 or 3 of them is a result of childhood cancer. And the causes is being grown. Globally in the world, we have over 400,000 children who are diagnosed with cancer every year. And out of these children, 80% of them are from low and medium income countries such as Nigeria and then sub-Saharan Africa globally. So childhood cancer prevalence is on the high side, but the good things, there are advances of medicines and the advances of trainings and technical works that has been helped to combat this, even in the adult. A lot of awareness, a lot of sensitizations, a lot of programs that has addressed this in the adult, and also the current funds being allocated for adult cancers by the federal government of Nigeria, which is also catering for that in indigenous. But childhood cancer, children has not enjoyed a lot, but we are so glad that in the new cancer control plan that is going to come up in 2023, childhood cancer has been included, and we look forward to a positive response towards children. But the truth is, it's on the going side in this part of the country, and people don't know. And then most times when we come across, people say, are you sure a child can have cancer? And the truth, the children can have cancer. But the truth about this is they have a good prognosis and they can survive it if it is early detected and properly treated. So every cancer, the good news of every cancer is early detection and properly treated. And that is one of the things we talk about.
Very good, Korede. Now, would you say private specialist hospitals are at the forefront of the fight against cancer in Nigeria currently?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that, because I mean, cancer it's a multi disease. It's not just one disease that causes cancer. It's different kind of disease that comes together and form one. So we can't say just they are doing their best to, but we can say government hospitals today are the front line of fighting cancer, because that's where you see the specialists, that's where you see the multidisciplinary team that can actually work with this. Yes, on their own part, they are doing their own, and look at the costing. It's on the high side. And so where you could get a better care is in the government system. So private hospitals are doing their own quite right, but for now, I can say government hospitals are really...
On more practical terms now, do you think we have the appropriate technology to take care of the scourge of cancer in Nigeria currently?
Wow.
Yes, vis-a-vis the issue of private and public health institutions.
Yes, we might not be there yet.
Yes, and you talked about the issue of affordability as well.
Yes, we might not be there yet, but I mean, we are gradually moving there. Now we have a center in Lagos that has, Lagos University Teaching Hospital, they have a dedicated cancer center, in Lagos and also in Abuja, another part of Nigeria. And then the radiotherapy machine too here in Lagos, so we are not there yet. We are going there, but we just need to keep talking about it and try as much as possible to see how we can, engage more government organizations, engage more private individuals, to have private partnership. But it's so sad that, okay, we don't have a dedicated center like that, too much of it for pediatric cancers. Yeah. So we are looking forward to, government, private individual that can take the bull by the horn, and then let's have a private partnership that can run pediatric cancer so that we can save these children from dying of cancer.
Indeed. Now, what role does advocacy play in enlightenment on the scourge of cancer, and can we actually prevent it, you think?
Advocacy play a lot of role. it plays a lot of role. People need to be, number one, people need to be aware, and they're not just aware. People need to understand that, okay? Because there's this saying, we used to say that a rare disease remains rare until it affects you. And people say, no, it cannot happen, God forbid. No, we tell people, I was still talking to some people, some groups of women like 2 days ago that, look, when this happened, there's nothing you do wrong as a mother that makes this happen. Because unlike adult, where you can say, you know what, someone that is smoking, that is taking much of alcohol, you can say, okay, it can prone cancer. But on children, you can say, okay, this is what the child does that causes this. And so what we try as much as possible is to educate people, to advocate people. Number one, people believe, oh, this child will die. No, it's not every child that has cancer that dies. And that's why I used to say, okay, it's a national priority and it's a very good investment. Why will I say a very good investment to invest in? Because this child is going to go. This child has a good prognosis. If this is early detected, if this is early, if sensitization is much more, we talk about it. And that's why we need stakeholders. And I'm grateful for Arise News for doing this for children in this month. This is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, September. And so if more people have more understanding of this and more, and healthcare workers, which is so important, because advocacy is not just talking to the public alone, even healthcare workers in the primary healthcare centers, because we've seen that when a child is sick, the first point of contact is the primary health centers. And what we've seen is even some of these people does not know what science it is, because it comes like a general illness in every child, malaria, typhoid, and we have seen cases whereby a child has been treated for 6 months malaria, 8 months, and after then someone said, and that's why education of cancers in children is so important to us in this primary. So advocacy plays a lot of role. And we would say, and I would like to just say that the good work that we have seen in adult cancer today is as a result of advocacy. I'm sure we are going to close to October in a few weeks' time, and then we'll see a lot of about breast cancer, a lot of pink companies, organizations, and we have seen how these have saved a lot of life. And so we're looking forward to that also in childhood cancer in the rural part of the countries where people do not know these things. I say, you know what? When you see gold, this is what it means for child cancer.
Indeed, Korede, but it's quite concerning and worrying that cancer development in children is picking up pace. And you want to think, what is the underlying causes of this? Is it about lifestyle choices we made as adults, and it's more or less inherent in our children now? So what's going on here?
Okay, like I said earlier on that unlike adult cancer, that you will say there are risk factors if someone is doing like this. But for childhood cancer, as of today, there has not been a cause and say, you know what, this is why this child has cancer. You can say, okay, fine. We can say, okay, we can say genes. People can say, okay, maybe someone in the family has this. We can say that's to be 5%. Okay. 5%. But the rest of 95% it just occur. And so what is cancer? I mean, it's an abnormal cell that has refused to grow. So in the body, and then it becomes cancerous and start growing. And so when it just happens in the child, it's just something that does happen. But the best thing is, that's why it's so important as a parent to pay attention to the health of your child. It's so important. There is no cause for it, but there are warning signs. There are things you need to see. For example, if a child is having repeated infection, I mean, is sick today, you're treating infection for 6 months, for 8 months, and this thing is not going. And and the cases that we've seen, truly, people say, I go to the hospital, I go in and out of the hospital. The truth is, as a parent, when this happens, please ask the doctor, can we have a second opinion to see? Can a pediatrician? That's why we advise that everybody that you see your child should be a pediatrician. But we say, okay, I'm in the rural part, primary healthcare center, private hospitals in your area. Please, if you're taking your child out of hospital, illness repeatedly, please ask for referral yourself. Please, can I see a specialist, a pediatrician that will look at this child and say, you know what, this is the problem. And then we have seen cases of survivors. The survivor that we talked about today, where I worked today, was as a result of this. I have a child that survived retinoblastoma. That's cancer of the eye. Now, what happened now? His parent was sensitive. I think they were just, according to the story, they were in the room watching TV and the light went off, there was power outage, and the mother suddenly discovered that the eyes is, something strange is happening. There's a shining eyes. Now, that's a sign of cancer of the eyes. It looks like a cat eye.
Okay.
So, but they were not satisfied. So in the morning, they went to an optician, and the man looked at the eyes and said, you know what, there's a problem. And you know what, he referred them to a teaching hospital, and where the child goes through all the treatment. And today, he's a survivor.
Very good. Lightning reaction there is very key. Now, briefly, in 1 minute, tell us a little bit about the SIOP network of the International Society of Pediatric Oncology, of which you belong to. So what's your core mandate here? 1 minute, please.
Okay. At the SIOP, I'm a member of the Advocacy Committee Group, Global Committee Group, where we support advocacy globally in the world. And then I'm just elected as the Young SIOP Chair, which is the young network over 40 years and below. Basically, the work of the International Society of Pediatric Oncology is to governize pediatric oncologists globally for their development and for awareness, for advocacy about childhood cancer, so that the vision of WHO to reduce cancer up to improve survival rate 60% by 2023 can be achieved.
And indeed, it's good to know about all of these instances, and hopefully something positive will come out of it, despite all the challenges you've enumerated. Korede Akindele, pediatric cancer advocate and policy driver, head of programs, the Dorcas Cancer Foundation. It's good to have you with us on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.